This week, movies. We finally got that Dr. Jekyll trailer that we've been waiting for some time, so we're going to talk about that. We also, keeping up with things, Toxic Avenger trailer dropped as well, proper, and Studio Ghibli is giving us something that we really weren't expecting. So let's get into all of that. Welcome, nerds, to the movie news for the week. This is where we're going to be talking about all of the nerdy and or pop culture related movie news that we can get our grubby little hands on. So like if it's been announced, if there's a new trailer, if there's casting, all of that's gonna be here. So let's get into that, shall we? Starting things off, we have no follow-ups or corrections, but we do have some trailers. First up, let's talk about the Dr. Jekyll trailer because it dropped, I believe, like this morning or something as I'm filming this. So I had to like handwrite it into the notes because everything was already printed and ready to go. And Eddie Izzard as Dr. Jekyll, this looks like it might be a little bit of a missed opportunity because Eddie Izzard is trans. And so showcasing the nature of a trans person, I think, is a great way to tell the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It is not going to be a Mr. Hyde this time around. We assumed that the Dr. Jekyll was going to be Eddie's girl side, as they put it. I think Eddie prefers the they-them pronouns, because Eddie has said previously that there are girl days and there are boy days, and that's how they identify. Some days they feel like a girl and some days they feel like a boy. And so that's how they dress and approach the world and wish to be interpreted by the world. So because of that, like, that seems like a perfect person to cast as Dr. Jekyll, who is, from the promotional stuff that we talked about previously, the female, and then presumably Hyde was going to be Mr. Hyde. But we learn in this trailer that it is Rachel Hyde. So both sides of the personality are female for the movie, and that just really screams of a very missed opportunity considering who Eddie Izzard is. So I don't know, watch the trailer, let me know what you think down in the comments, and we will move on from there. Next up on the trailers list is the next movie from Henry Cavill, Argyle. Apparently this is based on an actual book. I'm unaware of the book, and I apologize to those of you who are fans. But the trailer is actually pretty dang cool. It's a little glossy as far as production. It's a little over the top at times, but done very, very well in that it's edited explicitly to the beat of the music. And I'm talking about like Baby Driver levels of editing to the music. It's pretty freaking intense as far as like the technical side of things go. It looks like it's going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun though. Go check it out. This trailer is definitely doing the thing it needs to, and it's getting the hype building for this movie. Release date is, where to go? February of 2024 is when it will get released. Then let's talk about the next Disney movie. The next animated Disney movie is going to be called Wish. It is not a Pixar movie. It is an animated Disney movie. And honestly, I feel like at least this time around, they're doing a pretty decent job, based off of this trailer, doing a pretty decent job of differentiating those art styles. Because there's moments in this trailer where it almost looks like they hand animated at least some of the things in the frame. So they very likely didn't. They very likely have just found a style inside of the computer animation to kind of affect a hand animated look, but still, it's not exactly cell shaded, but it looks pretty good. Release date on this one is November 22nd. I honestly have no idea what to expect out of a new regular Disney animated movie anymore, so maybe it's gonna be good. I don't know. From there, let's talk about Toxic Avenger. Toxie has released a trailer, and it's a teaser trailer, so it's very short, and it's very much in the style of Troma, which is pretty awesome considering that's where this came from. But like super rapid cuts, and you're jumping around all over, and you get these weird like news articles, and they're talking about and it's just, this feels like old school Troma with a shiny new production veneer over the top, and that's kind of what you expect out of something like this. And so it's great that they're following through with the promise. and you even get a little bit of the blood and gore in the trailer, so that kind of gives you an idea of just how gory the movie's going to be. So that's also something that you expect from something like this, so that's awesome. Yeah, I'm just super hype about the new Toxic Avenger movie. Gonna be watching it as soon as possible. No official release date as far as like broad release has been made yet. It is still doing, as far as I know, still doing the circuit around for film festivals. So from there we got a really weird one.
Oh, hey nerds. So I gotta make myself useful. Now is the point in the show where you subscribe. I got a shill for my lunch, so hit the subscribe button, tell everyone you know about the show. That way we can keep doing these things that we do to keep you informed of all that's going on across the nerddom, as it were. Yeah. So thanks, and I'll see you next time, I guess. Alright, back to the show.
It's called Silent Night. It's an action, Christmas action movie in the vein of Die Hard, kind of, only leaning a little bit harder into the Christmas elements so as to make no debate whether or not it is a Christmas movie. I mean, obviously the name of the movie is Silent Night. Stars Joel Kinnaman and Scott Mescudi. Big thing here though is directed by John Woo. So big action director doing a Christmas movie. You're gonna see a lot of slow-mo. You're gonna see a lot of explosions. You're probably gonna see pigeons flying off screen in slow-mo at some point, or some sort of bird. He likes to do a lot of birds. I think the joke is it's always pigeons, but I don't think it actually is always pigeons. I could be wrong. I could just be misremembering it, but it looks like it's gonna be fun. Good is still very much debatable, but it looks like it's going to be fun. It is a Lionsgate movie. It's looks like John Wick for Christmas is effectively what it's going to be. Speaking of Lionsgate, our next movie, Rumble Through the Dark, is also a new Lionsgate action movie releasing this November 3rd. There is a proper release date for this one. Aaron Eckhart is going to be the lead for this one. It actually has a bit of an ensemble, if you will, for the cast. Nothing crazy noteworthy outside of Eckhart, but still some big names in there that you're going to recognize, so that's pretty significant. I just am a huge fan of Aaron Eckhart, so I think it's great that he's doing something that I want to see again. And yeah, Rumble Through the Dark, this trailer's doing a bit for me, and hopefully it's doing a bit for you. Go check it out. That's what we got for trailers. Let's talk about some regular ass news. Starting off the news portion, we are talking about Studio Ghibli. So it was presumed that the next movie that is being released from Studio Ghibli, The Boy and the Heron, is going to be the final Hayao Miyazaki film. Hayao Miyazaki is the man who started Studio Ghibli. He is effectively the Walt Disney for Studio Ghibli. That is apparently very much not the case. Now that production is done with The Boy and the Heron, which should be rolling out November 22nd in Japan, and then worldwide, I believe. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Limited release, November 22nd in the States, and then nationwide, December 8th. So if you're looking to catch some Studio Ghibli on the big screen, that's when you can do it. But now that production is done there, he has already started the pre-production process for his next movie. So the man, I didn't put down his age, but he's in his 80s. He's got to be. He's getting up there, man, and he just can't stop working. So I'm definitely here for it. I'm a big Studio Ghibli fan. We have all of their movies. So yeah, let's do this. From there, was there something that I skipped? Nope, I believe that it was everything there. So from there, let's talk about Michael Caine real quick. Speaking of movies that are on their way to theaters and such, Michael Caine is making a movie, or has made a movie rather, called The Great Escaper, that is based on the life of Charles Darwin, where he plays Charles Darwin, which is actually pretty freaking awesome. Michael Caine is in his 90s. He is 90 years old and has said that this is in fact going to be his final movie. The movie previous, he was thinking maybe he was going to retire soon. Now that he's done another movie since, yeah, he's done. So pretty significant. I can't blame the guy. He's got a pretty extensive, incredible body of work. So you want to retire at 90, bud, retire at 90. That's you've earned it by a long shot. So yeah, super excited for Michael Caine to have a happy and long retirement from the movie business. Let's move next into our other piece, Prey 2. This probably could have gone in as a follow-up, but I don't think we've actually talked about it up until this point. So the sequel to the Predator prequel that actually got some pretty good reviews. I still haven't seen it. We'll talk about that sometime, I'm sure, in the That Just Happened show. But yeah, Prey 2, the Predator prequel is happening. No exact information yet as far as anything, though it does seem that this time it is not going to just be streaming. Very probably we'll see a day and date simultaneous release in theaters and on Hulu, whereas the first one only went straight to Hulu. The only other thing that we know for certain about this movie is that it is going to be, once again, Dan Trachtenberg behind the camera, doing the director thing. Prey, the first one, was Trachtenberg's second feature-length film. So that's pretty significant. It's actually pretty cool that he's coming back to do the sequel. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I don't know if you are, but I totally am. So that's what we got for regular ass news this episode. Let's now talk about the movie suggestion for the week. Now that it is on Paramount, I can officially recommend that people see this because it is fairly easy to catch, and that is Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey. Again, not a great horror movie, but a lot of fun to watch. So do not go into this expecting it to be fantastic horror. This is B horror kind of at its best, because it's very obviously made with zero money. It's very obvious that everyone was actually having a good time on set, and it's very obvious that they really just were trying to capitalize on something as quickly as possible. That's something very obviously being that Winnie-the-Pooh is now public domain. So don't go into this thinking it's great, just go into this thinking it's fun, and that's exactly what it is. Winnie-the-Pooh, Blood and Honey is your suggestion for the week. Go have a good time. And once again, nerds, this is just a clip from the main show, the Weekend Nerddom, over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go check that out for the entire episode, or just stay tuned here for other news related to nerdy pop culture stuff and just random fun little bits. Before we head out, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.